What's going on? This is your Friday edition of Sweet Tea with Don B. So I've got another little analysis video here for you. I'm going to be covering the Bryan Kohberger case in this video. Now I've covered it before, but I've kind of been letting things play out, and I've been really inundated with the Summer Wells case. But I'm going to jump to Bryan Kohberger's because it's going to be coming up before we know it. I mean, it's going to be here before we know it. So, what I want to do is basically go over like the most important parts in the trial that I think is going to be the most important parts. Number one is going to be the evidence showing, or just not really it's going to be evidence showing premeditation, but it's also going to be showing the whole picture as premeditation. Okay. This whole thing, in my opinion, was premeditated. So we're going to see that in the trial. And as far as the evidence goes, you've got the knife sheath with DNA on it. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. You got the phone pings, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. You've got the car actually on camera around the time the crime was committed. Which again, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with the defense. So that's what I'm looking at here, guys. And as far as Bryan's alibi, if I'm not mistaken, guys, Bryan claims that he was out driving because he likes to take long late night drives. So his claim for an alibi is that he was out driving, when the crimes were committed. Now, that in itself is intriguing, and it puts the defense in a position to where, like, is this the best that you got? I guess they agreed to go with it. But I'm like, is this the best that you've got? I mean, obviously, he doesn't have a physical human being for an alibi when the crimes were committed. He don't have any camera footage of himself, at a gas station, grocery store, restaurant, anything like that, around the immediate time, in the time frame that the crimes were committed. So for him to say that he was out driving, and then I don't think, now I'm sure that they can get the data out of the car, and that's going to be another damning thing to the defense is, how are they going to explain the evidence of Bryan being in the area where the crime committed, via the cameras and the data on the car. I think Bryan was kind of smart enough. If I'm not mistaken, I heard that he put his phone on airplane mode or turned it off or something like that. And it came back on after the crimes were committed. Now, the thing about him saying that he likes to take long night drives and how he was out driving, after the crimes, they actually do show him going back near the scene, which is pretty peculiar. Okay, so it would be interesting how that plays out. But he never did take another drive, and after the crime, he said that he likes to do these things, but after the crime, he never did. As far as I know, he didn't take any more long late night drives, after the crime was committed, So that's going to be another speed bump for the defense in this case. So, but again, I've always said from day one, like I said, I've not done a video in forever on this case, but back when I was covering it, I basically said the evidence, you know, is going to be pretty strong against Bryan. And like I said, nothing is 100% in the legal system. Nothing is 100%. I mean, you've got, you know, the OJ trial. What was that one little girl in Florida? I can't think of her name, but her mom got acquitted. So, yeah, nothing's 100%. But I do think that in this, compared to those other two, there's a heck of a lot of pretty damning evidence, if you will, against Bryan Kohberger in the case of, you know, the Idaho 4. And again, we got more stuff, like stuff that they pulled from his apartment. Got the apparently they got 2 cuttings from an uncased pillow with reddish brown stains on them that were tested. Now, what if those reddish brown stains match the victims? Right? What if they match the victims? That's going to be another. That's going to be another speed bump for the defense, ain't it? Like, how do you explain that, right? There's going to be a lot of speed bumps for the defense, and the only thing that I know that the defense can do is just try to poke holes in the prosecution's case. But I'm sure the prosecution's going to, you know, this ain't their first rodeo, and they know what's probably coming their way. And again, you know, when they executed the search warrant on Bryan Kohberger's apartment, you know, you got the reddish brown stain on the 2 cuttings from the pillow. You've got the hair sample that they took from Bryan Kohberger's apartment, which was human and dog. Be interesting to see if the you know, the human hair matches up with one of the victims. Be interesting to see if the dog hair matches up with the dog at the crime scene. You know, again, how is the how's the defense going to explain that to the jury? You know, how are they going to explain this? How are they going to get the jury to even remotely say, okay, well, maybe Bryan didn't do this? I think it's going to be very, very hard. So, guys, that's what I got for you on the Bryan Kohberger case. I'll start covering a little bit more of this one here and there. So if you want to check back in and check those videos out, I'll be doing some analysis on some other stuff in the case. May even create a playlist. So if you want me to create a playlist of, if you want me to start from the beginning and cover this thing, go back to the beginning and cover it, you know, Don B style. Let me know if you want me to create a playlist on that. It'll just be Don B's style of coverage on the Idaho 4 case, and I'll make a playlist for y'all to watch and all that stuff. But yeah, that's basically my evidence analysis, alibi analysis on the case. Bryan's got a hell of an uphill battle here. Hell of an uphill battle. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm right. Did I hit the nail on the head, guys? And leave comments below. I'll try to get back to as many as I can. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.